I have been reading a few articles online concerning clear backpacks, that is, see-through backpacks, and how schools will be requiring students to have these clear backpacks, allowing teachers and security to see just what students are bringing into school, and that they are not in possession of anything they should not be bringing into school, like a gun. But there are things to realize with clear backpacks. Many students want their privacy. There are many, for example, females, that when they go through their menstrual cycle, they don't want people to see their tampons and stuff. It's unnecessary. It's embarrassing for a lot of the students, and it makes them feel isolated and separated from the rest of American school culture, where they're having essentially their First Amendment rights infringed upon because they can't freely wear whatever backpack they want, regardless of what it is. It has to be a clear backpack. What we should have is just more policies that make sure that these students are feeling safe and secure in their schools, and not like they're being fought against like it's a prison. Now, before you say that sounds familiar and accuse me of plagiarism, those are not my words. Those words come from the very person who wants to infringe on the Second Amendment rights of individuals. But now that the shoe is on the other foot, David Hogg doesn't like it. Funny how that works. And I listened to his speech this past Saturday on the March for Life. It was hate speech. Pure unmitigated hate. The problem is the left does not want to be held by their own standards. Again, funny how that works. David Hogg is nothing more than a tool, a sock puppet for a socialist agenda that will see the end of individual freedoms and the creation of a socialist collective, where people are thrown in jail for teaching their girlfriend's dog to do a Nazi salute, as is the case of YouTube account Dankula, who has been convicted and now faces a year in jail for teaching his girlfriend's dog to Nazi salute. And I'm wondering if they're considering euthanizing his girlfriend's dog now for knowing how to do a Nazi salute. This is what it's come down to. David Hogg is nothing more than a useful stooge. Every word that comes out of David Hogg's mouth are typical liberal progressive sound bites, especially when it comes to the NRA. But David or anyone on the left does not want to talk about Nicholas Cruz being on law enforcement radar. They don't want to talk about him on social media, suggest that he might just go on a shooting spree. They don't want to talk about police visiting his home over 35 times and did nothing. The FBI knew about him, but I guess they were just too busy trying to sabotage Trump's presidential campaign. They don't want to talk about the chicken shit police officer not entering the school to engage Cruz. You know what else they don't want to talk about? They don't want to talk about Blaine Gaskill, the resource officer of Great Mills High School in Maryland, who prevented another school massacre by actually doing his duty and taking out a 17-year-old psychopath who came walking into Great Mills High School with a gun. Liberals do not want you hearing about the good guy with the gun, because it would seem that liberals only want bad guys to have the guns. I don't know how many times liberals have been told this. Bad guys don't give a damn about laws, no matter how strict these laws are. They are going to have guns. It doesn't matter if they have a criminal record, because criminals do not buy guns in a legitimate gun store. They get them through the black market. While law-abiding citizens, the good guys, can't get guns. And again, this is nothing that hasn't been said before. I can remember hearing these sound bites back in the 1970s. When I was younger and had a retooled Mauser 3006, I went hunting with a few times. I also had a Remington shotgun for bird hunting. I sold all my guns back in 1995 to pay for my father's funeral. I would like to buy a 9mm. Everybody tells me to buy a Glock. I was looking at the 10-round Ruger SR9. And for those of you who are interested in buying a gun of any kind, for the time being, there are a lot of good videos on YouTube about it. For how long those videos will be up is questionable because YouTube is looking to shut down those gun channels, just as they're shutting down conservative channels for wrong thinking. You want to talk about wrong thinking? Let's talk about assault rifles. What is an assault rifle? This is a term that is being tossed around, but nobody really knows what it means. The military classifies an assault rifle as being capable of selective fire, has an intermediate power cartridge more than a pistol but less than a standard rifle, such as the 7.92 by 33 millimeter Kurz, the 7.62 by 39 millimeter, and 5.56 by 45 millimeter used by NATO. As well, the ammunition must be supplied by a detachable box magazine, and it has an effective range of at least 330 yards. The AR-15, which is the target of every leftist cuck, is not an assault rifle. It doesn't come close to the military criteria of an assault rifle. The AR in AR-15 doesn't even stand for assault rifle. It stands for Armor Light Rifle. That is the name of the company, Armalite, that came up with the design in the 1950s. The very first AR-style rifle was the AR-5, a bolt-action 22 caliber rifle. Colt now owns production rights not only to the AR-15, but the AR-10 as well. Every leftist cuck out there is wrong thinking about the AR-15 and what the AR means in AR-15. But it really doesn't matter to these brain-damaged leftist cucks. They are not interested in facts. They talk about conservatives speaking in code, such as racist code words like welfare queen. They speak in code when they say stricter gun laws. What they mean by stricter gun laws is chipping away, and not just the Second Amendment, but the entire Constitution, until there is no Constitution, and America is taken. Without firing a shot, America will be buried, destroyed from within, by feeding small doses of socialism until we awake one day to find that we have communism, as Nikita Khrushchev said all those years ago. America is awakening to realize that we have been hypnotized, brainwashed, put into a deep sleep by leftist commie cucks. Hopefully, we haven't awakened too late to put a stop to it. Thanks for stopping by and for tuning in. And please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until we talk again, I want you all to be well and enjoy life.